What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Actually been out here working for a few hours tonight, making some progress on the race car. Got a very short deadline to get a lot of stuff done. Last video to now, it doesn't look like we've done a lot, but it really is time consuming, and we actually have done quite a bit. So check it out, guys. Let me give you some updates, show you where we're at, what we've done. We changed my mind on a couple things, and fixing to do a few things that are pretty cool. I've never done it before. Let me show you. Comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all want to support the channel, go to TurboJohnRacing.com. Grab yourself some hats and t-shirts. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Well, it looks about the same as it did otherwise earlier. Last video, I did get my fuel line in. We're going to have to chop this up. This is a NASCAR line. That's a lot what I do. I paid like 12 bucks for this thing, 15 bucks for it. So that's going to work. What I'm going to have to do, I might have another 90-degree number 10 here. Instead of this 45, I do need to shorten it if I don't have a 90-degree, but that'll be fine. My feed line did come. That's going to work out perfect. It's just a little bit longer. So now we got fuel coming from the cell, going up to the pump, going through our filter. It goes in to this regulator. This line here loops around and then comes back out front to the regulator. Now, there's a lot of people that say this is not the way to do it. This is the way I had it done on my small block. We could put a T in right here and hook it from here to here, which we may do at some point, and then that way it pressurizes kind of it all. Motion Raceworks also, my buddy Joey has one. It looks pretty cool, but they have a single inlet and then a dual outlet. So at some point we may do the normal Y system to where it comes up Y's and then feeds the front or the back, and then both of those outsides on the returns on the other rail, they end up going to this one. But this is, we got to put the injectors in it, which I've got those. I put the elbow in it. We're going to put the big tall one on it for right now. We're going to rob the throttle body. Actually, no, I'll go ahead and put the new throttle body on it for right now. My valve covers, like I said, they fit good. My grommets did come. I'm out of argon almost, so I don't have much argon, so I got to go get more argon, but we need to weld those fittings on. The number 16 fittings there, so we'll go do that. One of the biggest things I've done, though, it's taken me a lot longer than what I anticipated, is I started enclosing this drive shaft area. There's not much room for it like a traditional tunnel. So, you know, a lot of times, a lot of cars, they just put the loop on it. So we got two loops. Like I was saying last video, we put an extra bar in it back there. So essentially we got two loops. I had the seat out of it, so we got to tighten it all back down. We're not done with that yet. But this is 16 gauge. I think it was like 62 thousandths thick. I went ahead and TIG welded it all the way across the top, all the way across the top on the other side. So that's nice and secure. And on the other side of this bar here, we've got it going down as well. So now I am pretty well protected if we have a U-joint failure. You know, I wasn't worried about the drive shaft getting caught. I was worried about the bits and pieces of the actual U-joint. But so hopefully that's good. I have not done the other side yet. Welding is not my strong suit. Top turned out pretty decent, but the side, going up the sides of that stuff, that's kind of a pain in the butt. But it turned out, I got it. It's okay. Got most of our brake line stuff done, and I've been working on that for a while, it seems. But I did decide that I was going to do hard line, because this piece right here was very long. So you can see how we got this coming out now. It's come out, this is flared, and it comes back, and I've got it coming up. It's going to follow this over here, and then it's going to bend, and it's going to follow that over there and then go up. And my connection point is going to be right here on the bar. So that's where we're going to hook those two together. And then that way we got the flexible line coming down on the rear end, and that way we can make sure that is nice and supportive. It gives plenty of travel. That is a I think it's a 24-inch line, so it'll basically just coil up and then it'll be set. So now what I've been working on for the last hour is making a bracket for the shifter. So I've got this Pro Bandit shifter. I don't know if you've ever taken a Pro Bandit shifter apart, but here it is. So this is the Pro Bandit shifter. Take the side plate off, and I just made this. I could have bought one for $35 and waited like 3 days. I took a 2-inch piece of flat iron, basically 1/8 inch, 125 thousandths, 2 inches. Cut these so that those pieces are about 1 inch tall. Bend it up, cut it, drilled it. These are on center. They are 5.5 inches apart. So now what I got to do is I'm gonna mount the shifter like right here. I got to get in there and put the shifter in there and see what feels comfortable. But we're gonna mount the shifter on that side. I want my parachute handle over here on this side. So I thought that was pretty cool. I could bolt that if I would have made those tabs a little bit taller and it would have been up. But I think I'm gonna just stitch weld it down once we get the location. Whether it's gonna be turned, it may be turned slightly like this, or I may just put it straight. Because as long as I can, we gotta decide how I'm gonna do my trans brake button. Trans brake button was on this shifter here. So this is my button. I like to have it down there close to the shifter. I just don't like it on the steering wheel. So we're gonna we gotta find another home for that. It's not gonna be on the steering wheel though. So let's figure out, let me hop in there and figure out what feels the best for that shifter. And we'll come right back, hang on. All right guys, well, we're making some progress, but we have we had a slight issue. Notice I was planning on mounting this thing right flat on that piece there. And I was looking, they have instructions, and I grabbed the instructions and I printed them off, and it was like to scale, and I was like, oh, this will be super easy. And it was like, okay, 1.5 inches high. I was like, man, that's super high. And looking at the other bracket, I was like, okay, well, that's not necessary. I get it now. And the reason why is if you notice, the cable is a rear exit mount cable, and that rear exit mount cable goes down. I don't know why they would point it down. I mean, if you're designing something like this, to me, I mean, I'm not a designer, but it would make sense to me to say, okay, well, people might want to mount this flat on a floorboard or something, and you can't unless you put a hole in it. And if I put a hole in it, then, you know, what's the point of doing all that I just done? So basically what I did, I took my mounting bracket and I basically just welded it off to the side over there. That's perfect in reach, very, very easy, and it is very secure. Basically, there's 2 bolts. The 2 bolts are on the other side coming in. This is just the plate. This thing, I'm digging it, man. This shifter is really cool. It can be a 3-speed or a 2-speed, and it's got the gate in it for the Powerglide. So, I mean, I just cut the 3 off of it there. So that is good to go. We were just looking at how to adjust this thing too. Got my lightning quick Powerglide. Anton does my glides. Go check him out if you're in the market for a glide. That's all he does is power glides. So you have to figure out which hole to put it in, right? So you can go, okay, well, here you go. So that's in park up there. And now we're in park right here. Oh, look, it lines up there. A lot of people just do that. But if you're just setting this up for the first time, it could have been in this hole, or it could have been in this hole, or it could have been in that hole. It could have been in any of those holes. So in order to properly adjust this is the way I do it. I don't know if everybody does it this way, but the biggest thing is, for me, is second gear. So I pull this thing into neutral. Oh, look, something else too. This is backwards. I just noticed that. So this is a this was a 3-speed, so this is not right. So I need to probably cut that off too, because this is actually low gear down here, and then that's high gear. This is a Powerglide. So first gear, let's put this thing all the way forward. Which holes it line up with? It doesn't really line up real good with that one. Kind of make it fit. Not really easy though. That's not the one that counts. First gear. Second gear is the one that counts. So let's get the shifter. Let's click it one time. There you go. Boom. It is. That is how you want it to go in second gear. And now if I pull it back down to first, it pushes it, and it's got a little bit of tension on it. But that's okay. That little bit of tension it actually was more in first than what it was in second. So second gear, no tension, perfect. So let's go neutral, full handle, neutral, still perfect. Reverse, still good. And then park. Now, Powerglide, sometimes we say park is optional, but that one is actually dead on perfect. So that's where we had it before, so everything should have been good. The way we routed this thing, it goes back over the actual, the double frame rail, then it comes under and goes under the seat here, and then we're good there. So all we gotta do now is put my little cotter pin in, or whatever this thing's called. I don't even know what that thing's called. This is so much easier to do with the transmission exposed. Like, unbelievably easy. So now, boom, boom. Now we have a properly adjusted shifter. So we are making progress here. Can't thank Anton enough for all he's done hooking our transmission up. Go check him out. Lightning quick glides. Kind of hard to see a sticker there with my light. I went and bought a light today because I was tired of working in the dark yesterday. So got work to do. Still got a lot to do. I think we're going to be done for tonight though. This light right here is gangster. Harbor Freight. If I point it up, actually if I point it up, that's actually pretty good. It lights up really good up there. So man, I'm tired. This is a lot of work, guys. It's kicking my butt. So now we got to figure out the best way to mount these lines. We can't just let them flop around here. I mean, maybe zippy ties. That's what we did on my old car. We just zip tied it, and then we were good. We may be able to find some brackets. I don't want to drill holes all in the roll bar. I will. I'm gonna put a self tapper probably in this one right there, and then we'll run that line all the way across. I could do that line in the hard line, and I may. The only problem is I have to have an adapter. I've got several adapters. The adapters I have though, so that's like that's a regular number 3 union. This is from a number 3 to the brake line, and then this one is the opposite. So that's from the brake line to the number 3. Let me see, I've got my bungs, I've got some extra. So if I did that, if I did a hard line, what I would have to do is essentially I'd have to get a union for this one. So the union would go, I'd have to have a union there, and then the hard brake line going off that way. So I don't know, I ain't got there yet. I may just leave it, the flexible cord in the back. But this line right here was like 105 inches. And so we got it all double flared in, and it looked pretty good. I'm gonna show y'all a video too on how to double flare. That's gonna be a separate video. A lot of people know this line right here is that cheap Amazon line. It's easy to bend. I bent all this by hand, and it was really easy. You don't have to have any tools. I mean, you could get it perfectly straight if you wanted to, if you had the benders, but I just do it by hand gradually, and it works out pretty good. Okay, guys, well, I guess that's gonna be it for today. The video, we got a lot done. We're making some progress. God, it just doesn't look like it. It does not look much further along now, and I've worked on it. I've already got 8 hours in it the last 2 days, 4 hours each day, maybe 5 hours each day. It's amazing how time consuming, how much time it takes. It is what it is. We got work to do. We got a lot to get done. So I'll keep y'all updated. Appreciate it, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all later.